presents Auction Day.
When it comes to selling your home, styling goes a long way in attracting more buyers and selling it at a higher price, but it can be expensive to hire the professionals. So is it worth having a go at styling it yourself? Nicolene, Steward and Ronel Bezuidenhout, directors of Revamp and property stylist, join us now to show us how. I did practice Bezuidenhout and I'm pretty happy with the fact that I nailed it. How was
Great to see you again, girls. So good to have you on the show.
Look, besides saving money, what are some of the other benefits of DIY styling?
Well, what we've seen is really just giving people empowerment in their own homes as well. So we give advice to clients to style their own properties and just a sense of, we've achieved this, we love it. It can change the whole feel of selling a property, which is quite traumatic. So that's definitely a benefit.
Yeah, 100%.
So some of our clients are in the outback or in the outer regions and they're on their styling companies. So they're always like, well, we cannot do anything because we don't have the tools the city people have. And this way, just empowering them with the tools that they need to actually do it themselves, it's really great for them as well.
Well, let's start having a look straight away at some of your work and the people that you've helped. We've got a case study of a kitchen. Let's tell us about how this came about.
So the kitchen was a client of ours. She had a little toddler, single mom, and she was to her wits' end and she had to do something. So I just gave her the tools and the recipe that she actually needs to transform this kitchen. So she did it all herself. She spent about $25 just buying a cookbook, salt and pepper shakers and a little plant. She was amazing. She actually took the microwave and stored it during open home periods and during, when people come into her place, and it just opened up the kitchen and looked so much bigger. It was actually tiny.
Ronel, I want to say straight away, I hope my twin brother is watching because you removed all those things off the fridge and look at the difference just by doing that.
That's right.
Clean and crisp. I love those magnets, but they can go somewhere else.
Yeah, my fridge is covered in.
And lists and notes to do. You also, of course, cleaned all the surfaces, and that goes a big way into adding bench space. And when you're adding value to property, bench space is one of the biggest things that people seem to never have enough of, but they do. They just misuse it, don't they?
That's right.
But that's very small, so they couldn't make the kitchen bigger. So the only way is just to declutter totally and place something in the corner just to draw the eye in and makes it feel bigger. And it was amazing. She did it all by herself, so it can be done.
Yeah, and that is something you can completely do yourself, and so that's mostly just decluttering, isn't it?
Yeah.
But people don't know how to declutter, so they're like, well, we know we need to declutter, but what?
Yeah, where do we start?
Just exactly telling them, well, let's start with the fridge, let's start here, let's do this, and just break it down, and they're like, oh, okay, it's actually simple then.
All right, I'm going to go home and take the magnets off my fridge. We've got another kitchen to have a look at. Gee, what's wrong with that picture?
Well, there's so many things.
It's actually a big kitchen. It was massive.
No, those dolls scare me.
They were living in the property, and again, as we live in our properties, it's different to when you sell it. Yeah. So I had to explain to her just the process of actually taking everything away, the kettle, everything, just putting everything away, pack it up because they're moving anyway, and then just use what you have. The little cutting board, she kept the Thermomix, a cookbook, and the plant she already had in the kitchen. And just opening it up looked like 3 times the size.
Yeah, it definitely has.
She had the hobby of actually making these dolls, so that was kind of her, hobby space.
And their workbench, because she didn't have space.
That's right.
Yeah, of course. But when you put that in a home, when people are coming to buy a home, it looks like, well, there's no room for it, whereas it's just practical use when you're living there.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
If we start looking at some of your work, and let's go from the kitchen into the bedroom, let's have a look at one of the bedrooms before and after, and how did you end up working this one?
Now this is a really great, I love doing this one. Went in and the client's main bedroom, so this was the aftershock, but before they loved Marvel. So the whole house was full of Marvel characters, really strong colours throughout, which actually made this bedroom feel quite dark. And they had lots of, dark colour furniture. Now the advice that I gave them is to firstly try and paint the walls, keep it a softer colour so the light can bounce off the walls. And also, not everyone would connect with that theme, so try and depersonalise it.
Very diplomatic way of phrasing that.
She's a master.
Master bedroom,
this is a master bedroom.
This is a master bedroom. I know. And they, it was amazing, this story.
It looks very teenage retreat, doesn't it? No
That's
offence,
right.
price.
That's right. So that would be the photo that actually went on for, the open home, which is much better. Using some neutral bedding.
You would not say that was the same room.
That is really
So,
the same
Nicolene,
room.
when you're doing this one, did you come to this property or was this all online? Because I wonder how you choose colours when you're not actually on site. Is it sometimes tricky picking paint colours if you don't quite have the flooring or something to look forward?
Yeah. So this one was easy because I actually went on site and I could see they just used the same colour throughout the whole house. So they already had the paint. So we try and work with the client and give them advice what they have already because we want to try and help them save money and time.
Put your colour in your artwork instead of on the whole walls and the bedspread.
That's right. And it just made it so much brighter. And even removing some furniture pieces, they did that themselves, kept the headboard and the side tables. They didn't want to buy white bedding and we just gave them the bedding and the accessories. And it came out brilliant. It was a great teamwork.
So here's another bedroom. I'd be starting with the window treatment there, I think.
You are spot on.
Really?
You are spot on.
You're getting good at this, Sophie.
Oh, thank you. I feel empowered now. Just
Fantastic, And even just the placing of the bed. So when I actually saw this was the main bedroom in a 2-bedroom unit. The way that the bed was facing actually made it feel narrow, the space, and just by swinging the bed the direction, it actually made it feel more wider and open. And just removing everything from the floor so you can see more floor space. That's another key tip. And they did put roller blinds in to match the wall colour. And it just transformed the whole space.
The sad thing is, girls, that sometimes people move in and they just get used to living with something and they almost don't see it anymore, do they? Until someone looks at it and then they think, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this earlier?
Yeah.
It freaks them out. And we've got another bedroom to look at. Bedroom 3.
I think this is a
Oh, it's going to lounge now. Mind you, it looks like they sleep in there at the moment, don't they? Yeah?
No, this is
there's a bedroom.
there's the bedroom, yeah.
There's a bedroom.
So this is a bedroom. They actually used this bedroom for storage space and it was completely filled with boxes. When I walked in, it felt really tiny and very small and recommended that we actually put functionality back into the bedroom. So, when you're trying to sell...
I think our before and after don't
before
match
and
up.
after.
That's all right.
It was very cluttered, very full.
Yep.
And so the key is just to bring function into a space and actually opening it up. And starting with a double bed, it felt small, but a lot of times when you put a double bed in, it actually makes the space feel more bigger.
Yeah, and people can see it being used for a different space for an older child or even for a couple to live in or a guest room. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for a guest room. Okay, we've got another example. Let's just surprise us. We're not sure what order we're coming we're going to have a look at the living room and we're going to hope that it's the before and after are both a living room. The dining room.
There you go. All right, now this is a dual space, dining and a living. And the first thing that actually caught my eye was, again, the feature wall. Feature walls are great when you live in it yourself. However, that feature wall was a very dark colour and it made that corner feel really kind of claustrophobic. Recommended just painting it again the same colour as the other walls to make the light bounce off it a bit. And again, worked with the client to actually, in combination with our accessories and their furniture, to bring in a bit more contemporary style.
So I can see you've added a lamp in the corner and picked up sort of on the timber toes that they've already got on the floor and
just bigger
the
pictures
furniture.
on the wall makes a big difference too, doesn't
That's
it?
right. And you can create your feature with artwork rather than necessarily painting a feature wall when you sell your property.
Yeah, it's just so funny because, I mean, this is stuff that I do as well as you guys, but people just don't get it, do they? And they close the space in. We've got another one here now with quite large furniture pieces, but also a big, big storage unit as well. So how did you deal with this one?
So this was basically just explaining to them that you need a flow through the house. So as you're coming to the living room, you could hardly see the outside, and the outside was pretty nice. And then bifold doors, so just taking the double-seater sofa away, rearranging the furniture, placing a nice rug to soften the look, and they did all of this themselves. Didn't cost them any money. Just opening it up a little bit, creating a flow, and the results were amazing.
It just really opens up the space.
Sometimes less is more, isn't it?
That's right.
See?
I pay attention. I sit here all day.
I
listen
love
to you
it when you speak like that. What about this one?
Now, this was an upstairs landing when you actually go up the stairs, and they use it for a kind of a storage area. And again, it's just bringing functionality into different, spaces by just styling it as an upstairs seating, it changed 2 living living room house into a 3 living room house.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
money and value.
massively. You're right. It's just such value somewhere for the kids to go and play their computer games or
My
just to have
household,
some.
it would be like me to escape the
Would it? You leave your kids downstairs. Yeah, but still, exactly right, Sophie. It's still about, every family has their own way of using the space, don't they? I mean, this transformation is fantastic and completely achievable for people who feel scared and think it's beyond their grasp.
Yeah, that's right.
And they probably hadn't thought of that as even available living space. It was just like, well, that's a void, and clearly you've made it into something.
I'm glad to say
really
this is
useful.
not the after.
That's right.
What was this room other than a storeroom?
Oh, wow.
So I think that was the previous living room
Okay.
before
Right,
with the
okay,
after.
sorry. So
That's right. Yeah, so the previous living room almost looked like this
Correct,
anyway.
right, I can
So it
see.
was very full. It actually made the space feel very dark. Again, changing just curtains, making roller blinds so you can celebrate the outside balcony, which is really the selling feature in
Yes,
this
of course.
apartment.
And access to it.
And access to it, because you actually couldn't see that you could go outside. So just spacing the furniture out, bringing in lighter pieces, opening up the blinds, definitely key to making the space feel more inviting.
We've got an informal dining area to have a look at. This is not the after.
Yeah, this is the
There's a lot of
really plate
I
collection.
know.
Great size.
Yeah,
And just taking some of
The buffet
pieces.
off.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
the
just
huts, rather.
declutter and put some accessories and artwork, just something to draw the eye to. Just made it
Yeah,
so big.
do you know what's really interesting, girls, watching this, because it sort of just does become, difficult and people feel it's hard, but you really haven't transformed their space, made them change their furniture.
No.
It's all of these solid, how many people have timber and pine, I always say pine's a swear word to me, but solid, chunky timber furniture, and if you use it in the right way, it can still be perfect for styling your own home to sell so that somebody else can see themselves in. I mean, this is the great example. You've taken that away and put a mirror in its place, so where that sucks all the light with the plates, now you've got something that's reflecting and bouncing, and it's a great transformation.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're still comfortable because it's their furniture. So
Yeah.
they don't feel like they're living in someone else's house. It's still their house.
And this one you did, Ronel?
Yeah. So
This was the one we looked at. That's the first kitchen we looked at, wasn't it? Is off to the
yes,
side?
so that is
and
the,
that is
the
the
dining.
Yeah.
So same, very old furniture, but you don't really see it because she just dressed it with a nice crisp white tablecloth. She used the
Instead of the
flowers.
plastic wipeable one.
right.
And she used flowers from her garden, a nice vase that she found in the kitchen, and I think she actually borrowed the artwork from a friend, and it just softened the look. And by removing the 2 chairs on the end,
Yep,
it
the
just
headers.
made the flow so nice and
What
flowy.
I want to
and
highlight too, and what you've
Yeah.
done here, if people aren't watching at home, is but people think that by pushing the dining table against the wall, you're making it have more space, but it looks like there's a knot, and you've put it into the centre of the room, and yet the room feels bigger. And look at this, people think, oh, there's so much room now, isn't that great? But people look at it and think, you can't use it. I can't fit in there. It's a silly thing to do, and I reckon 8 out of 10 people do it.
Yeah, and you can feel a bit squashed even just looking at it, can't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good if you're on a diet because you can't sit in there and eat anything, but how crazy.
Yeah.
Really good transformation. And then we've got a balcony now. It's so important for adding, an extra living area to a home, but using the outdoor space.
Well, most people use it for their laundry, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But if you sell your property, you need to dress it as a usable space. So they tried and washed the floor, and there was marks that couldn't gone off. So she just went to IKEA and put those flooring down. It looks amazing, and just by adding the 2 seats, a little coffee table, make it like a nice little nook we would enjoy a cup of coffee. And it had a great outlook on the garden.
Yeah. Big trees. It was like a treetop apartment, like there at the top. So that was really this, inviting buyers out to go to the balcony.
Yeah, to be able to look outside.
Yeah.
Makes a great deal of sense.
Well, girls from Let's Revamp and Property as Stylists, really good transformation. People can contact you and get your assistance to help them transform. And obviously, by being able to do it themselves, adds greatly to the cost of it all too, and lets them realise the value of their
we've had
homes.
professional stylists on here today. They're saying, budget 7 to 50,000, depending on the scale of what you want to do. And what sort of budget are you talking about to help people?
Well, I mean, our Sydney-based consults are $250, and that's going out to the property. We also do virtual consults where we can actually people walk with their phones. Those would go for $150 or $180 depending on the time. So very affordable, and depending if they want to rent certain knickknacks or pieces from us, again that can range, but it's normally on the lower end of a budget because the big pieces of furniture. We try and use
What they've got already.
But we have training modules that they can buy as well, where we actually took whatever advice we've given these guys and step by step created packages. So if you want to transform your kitchen, you can go and buy the kitchen package, and they will literally give you all the ingredients and the method you need to create these type of looks. So it's homeimprovementtraining.com that we just launched. So if you don't have time to talk to us, you can actually just go and study at your own pace and implement it.
Yeah, beautiful. A fantastic advice, and I really love particularly that you're able to access people who are out in regional areas and outback where they can't find somebody locally. I think that's really good to fix their property needs. Somebody who can't, we can't all be in the city, and we don't need to be.
That's right.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Always great to have you on here, girls. Your energy's great and beautiful, transforming, getting rid of ugly and bringing in beautiful.
That's right. Thank you so much for having us. It was great.
Thanks, guys. We're going to take a quick break, but we've got more auction day coming up after this.